Virtual assistants can save you time, cut costs, and help your business grow, but only if you know how to use them. All right, let's see how sharp you really are. 10 questions. No hints, no second chances. I'll give you the statement. You decide. Fact or fiction? Think fast. Trust your instincts. And keep score, because some of the biggest beliefs about virtual assistants are completely wrong. Ready? Let's test your knowledge. Question 1. Here's your first statement. A virtual assistant is mainly someone who handles basic administrative tasks such as emails, calendars, and data entry. The answer is fiction. This sounds believable, but it seriously underestimates what virtual assistants can do. Some virtual assistants specialize in traditional administrative support, but others work in social media management, bookkeeping, customer service, graphic design, video edit search, lead generation, website management, e-commerce, recruitment, project coordination, and many other areas. The title virtual assistant describes how someone works remotely, not the limits of their abilities. A highly specialized virtual assistant may possess years of experience in a particular industry or software platform. That matters because businesses should not search for just any virtual assistant. They should search for someone whose skills match the actual work that needs to be completed. Question 2. Next statement. A virtual assistant can be useful even when a business only needs a few hours of support each week. The answer is fact. A business does not always need enough work to justify hiring another full-time employee. A virtual assistant may provide support for a few hours each week during a specific project or when workloads temporarily increase. For example, a small business might need someone to organize appointments, update its customer database, prepare a weekly report, schedule social media posts, or respond to routine inquiries. Delegating even a small number of repetitive tasks can give the owner more time for sales, customer relationships, product development, and other high-value work. The real question is not whether the business has 40 hours of work to delegate. It is whether the owner is spending valuable time on tasks that someone else could perform effectively. Question 3. Let's continue. Hiring a virtual assistant from a lower-cost country automatically means the business will receive lower-quality work. The answer is fiction. Geography does not automatically determine quality. Talented and experienced professionals can be found all over the world. Rates may vary because of local living costs, currency differences, experience, specialization, demand, and the complexity of the work. A lower hourly rate does not necessarily mean lower quality, just as a higher rate does not guarantee excellent performance. What matters is how carefully the business evaluates the candidate. That includes reviewing relevant experience, checking work samples, assessing communication skills, discussing availability, verifying references when appropriate, and using a clearly defined paid trial. Choose based on suitability and evidence, not assumptions about someone's location. Question 4. Pay attention to this one. If a virtual assistant works in a different time zone, communication and collaboration will always be difficult. The answer is fiction. A time zone difference can create challenges, but it can also become an advantage. A business can agree on a daily overlap period for meetings, questions, and urgent decisions. The rest of the work can happen asynchronously through documented instructions, task management systems, and recorded video explanations. In some cases, work continues while the business owner sleeps. A report can be prepared overnight. Customer messages can be handled across a wider portion of the day. Research can be waiting when the owner begins work the next morning. The key is to define working hours, response time expectations, deadlines, and emergency procedures before problems occur. Time zones do not automatically destroy collaboration. Unclear expectations do. Question 5. We're halfway there. A business can hire a capable virtual assistant and immediately delegate tasks without creating instructions or processes. The answer is fiction. Even an experienced virtual assistant cannot read the business owner's mind. Every company has its own customers, standards, tools, approval rules, tone of voice, and preferred way of working. If a task exists only inside the owner's head, mistakes and confusion are likely. Strong delegation includes a clear objective, the necessary background information, examples of successful work, deadlines, access to the right tools, and an explanation of what the assistant may decide independently. Standard operating procedures, checklists, templates, and short screen-recorded demonstrations can make recurring tasks much easier to transfer. Delegation is not simply saying, "Handle this." It is giving another person enough clarity to produce the result you expect. Question 6. Let's raise the difficulty. Giving a virtual assistant access to business systems can create security and privacy risks. The answer is fact. Remote access can create real risks if it is poorly controlled. A virtual assistant may need access to email, customer information, internal documents, social media accounts, payment systems, or other sensitive resources. But the solution is not to avoid virtual support entirely. The solution is to manage access responsibly. Businesses should provide only the permissions required for the person's role, use individual accounts instead of shared credentials, enable multi-factor authentication, use secure password management tools, and remove access immediately when the working relationship ends. Confidentiality agreements, data handling rules, regular access reviews, and secure communication channels may also be appropriate. Trust is important, but trust should be supported by sensible controls. Question 7. This one catches people off guard. The virtual assistant with the lowest hourly rate will always save the business the most money. The answer is fiction. Hourly price is only one part of the real cost. Imagine one assistant charges $20 per hour and completes a task accurately in 1 hour. Another charges $10 per hour but needs 3 hours, requires extensive corrections, and causes the owner to spend additional time checking the work. The lower rate has produced the higher total cost. Businesses should consider accuracy, speed, reliability, communication, judgment, specialist knowledge, training time, and the amount of supervision required. A strong virtual assistant may also improve processes, prevent errors, and identify problems before they become expensive. Do not measure value by the hourly rate alone. Measure the quality and business impact of the result. Question 8. Stay focused. A paid trial project can be one of the most effective ways to evaluate a virtual assistant before making a longer commitment. The answer is fact. An interview can reveal how someone communicates, but a realistic paid task reveals how that person actually works. A trial project can test whether the candidate follows instructions, asks useful questions, meets deadlines, uses good judgment, and produces work at the required standard. The task should resemble the real role, have a clear scope, and be achievable within a reasonable period. It should also be paid. Expecting candidates to complete substantial unpaid work is unfair and can drive strong professionals away. A trial does not remove every hiring risk, but it provides more useful evidence than relying only on a resume, profile, or polished interview. Whenever possible, test the working relationship before expanding it. Question 9. Almost there. Artificial intelligence will soon make human virtual assistants unnecessary. The answer is fiction. Artificial intelligence can automate or accelerate many tasks, but that does not make human virtual assistants irrelevant. AI can help draft emails, summarize documents, organize information, generate ideas, analyze data, and support research. But businesses still need people to understand context, verify accuracy, make judgment calls, communicate with customers, protect confidential information, manage exceptions, and take responsibility for outcomes. In fact, virtual assistants who know how to use AI effectively may become even more valuable. They can combine automation with human oversight to complete work faster while checking whether the result is accurate, appropriate, and aligned with the business. The future may not be human versus AI. It may be skilled humans using AI outperforming people who do not. Question 10. This is the final question, and it's the one that surprises most people. Hiring a virtual assistant automatically gives a business owner more free time. The answer is fiction. A virtual assistant can create enormous amounts of time, but that result is not automatic. At the beginning, the business owner may need to invest time in recruitment, onboarding, training, documenting processes, reviewing work, answering questions, and providing feedback. If the owner delegates poorly, changes instructions constantly, refuses to give the assistant authority, or continues doing the same tasks anyway, very little time will be saved. The greatest results come when the business identifies repeatable work, defines the desired outcome, builds a reliable process, and gradually increases responsibility as trust develops. The assistant also needs enough independence to complete the work without requesting approval for every minor decision. So the deeper lesson is this: hiring creates capacity. Effective delegation turns that capacity into time. A virtual assistant is not a magic solution. But with the right person, the right systems, and the right leadership, one can fundamentally change how a business operates. All right, how did you do? Drop your score in the comments. Be honest. 8 or more, you're ahead of most people. Less than that, now you know what many business owners learn the hard way. And here's today's bonus question. What is the first task you would delegate to a virtual assistant? Tell us in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and come back for the next challenge, because knowing more is how you stay ahead. My premium service, connecting businesses with the people and skills they need to grow.